My fellow Americans, I am the Mighty Plantain. Thanks for checking out this beer review. This time, we're taking a look at something from Rogue Farms. And this is their Chipotle Ale, which is an ale brewed with Rogue Farms Chipotle peppers. Now, if you've seen my video about Extreme Brewfest down in Boston this year, 2016, or been paying any attention to the craft brewing industry at all, you've noticed that spicy beers are actually getting really hot right now. Pun intended. So I got a little something in the works, something brewing, if you will. Wow, that's another bad pun. That's 2 in 1 video. You're getting your money's worth tonight. Of course, you didn't pay anything to watch it, so definitely getting some value out of it. Anyway, so I got something in the works. I'm working on the Spicy Beer Showdown. That's a working title. Haven't got anything better in mind yet, where I'm going to line up a bunch of spicy beers, get Boosh and hopefully EM Destroyer in on it, and we'll run them down for you, give you general impressions of a bunch of different spicy beers. But the reason I mention that is because this Rogue Farms Chipotle Ale might be a contender. If you remember, I've reviewed a couple of other spicy beers, and I also did Clown Shoes Luchador and Fuego, which seemed like it was going to be a spicy beer from the description, but wound up being pushed out of that little upcoming competition because it did not wind up being spicy at all, didn't live up to expectations. Alright, I'm getting a little long-winded about this. Let's check out the Rogue Farms entry into the Spicy Beer Showdown, hopefully. We'll see how this stacks up against some of the others. We'll see if it's going to be a worthy competitor. Now that is actually a fairly light colored beer. Not too cloudy, slightly cloudy. Very effervescent. There's a lot of bubbles coming up off of that, and managed to put a decent head on it, I guess. Almost it's a nice amber color, I would say. A reddish amber, actually. It's got a slight reddish tinge to it, which is cool. It's a very nice colored beer. Very effervescent. I'm still seeing a lot of bubbles coming up off of that, so that's nice. Interesting aroma. Maybe a bit citrusy and piney is what I'm getting there. That would primarily be from the hops, but honestly, that's what I'm getting. Citrusy and piney. Maybe a bit floral and perfumey, which is odd. I mean, yes, I did wash my hands recently, but that's not what I'm picking up on. I'm not getting soap, but it's almost got a nice, clean, floral, soapy smell with that pine and citrus going on with it. So a very interesting aroma coming off of that beer. There's a very small hint of heat to it. It's got a medium light mouthfeel. Somewhat grainy. You can definitely. I'm thinking there's a bit of caramel malt in there because it's got that slightly grainy but not overly heavy grainy taste to it. I keep saying grainy, but that's really it's just a general graininess. There's no more particular taste coming through in terms of the malt characteristic. It's just got a nice medium light graininess that makes me think there's a lot of caramel malt in there. Slight hint of heat in the finish. It actually comes up through my throat and the back of my nasal cavity more than it does on my tongue. And the piney and floral notes are forward in the taste. So overall, a pretty decent, well-rounded beer. Piney and floral with a bit of a nice medium light mouthfeel. Decent malt backbone to it. I'm enjoying it. It's smooth and easy to drink. It's going to go down fast. It's got that slight hint of heat in the finish. It's not overwhelming or overpowering. It's not too surprising. It's kind of there. I think I will put this in the Spicy Beer Showdown, but more as a benchmark early on. And that's going to be one of those ones where it's beer first with a slight hint of heat, so it'll be early on in that lineup of spicy beers. But definitely getting that hint of heat, which is kind of nice. It accentuates the overall experience of the beer, which otherwise would just be a very well-rounded, above-average craft beer. But I think that hint of spiciness to it is actually pushing it to a 4 out of 5 for me. At first I was ready to rate this at a 3.5 out of 5 because, like I said, it's a very nice, well-rounded, smooth, easy to drink, mildly complex beer with a wide variety of tastes coming through. But that hint of heat in the finish just kind of distinguishes it enough for me to push it up to a 4 out of 5, which is really nice. It's a very pleasant and great beer. I'm glad I found it. I was actually wandering through Huzzy's General Store in Windsor, Maine for the first time in a couple of years at least. Yes, I did say Huzzy's General Store in Windsor, Maine. The sign outside of the store says, "Guns, wedding gowns, and cold beer." They're not kidding. That picture of that sign has been making the rounds on the internet for years now, and everybody gets a good laugh out of it. They're not kidding. The sign really does say that, and they really do carry all three. Guns and cold beer on the first floor, and the wedding boutique is on the second floor, folks. If you're ever in Windsor, Maine, stop by Huzzy's. If we don't have it, you don't need it. And they're kind of right. You can get just about anything you need. I mean, specific products you might have difficulty finding, but in general, they pretty much have whatever you might need on a daily basis. And they have everything you need for a wedding. I am rambling. This is a great beer. 4 out of 5 for me for the reasons I described before. I'll put a quick user poll up here. Let me know what you think. I'll give you a chance to rate it 1 to 5. Unfortunately, I can't go with the half ratings that I typically use because YouTube only allows 5 different responses to the poll. And I'm getting long-winded again. So, hit me up down in the comments, an email link down below. Let me know, if you agree or disagree with my assessment. If you have anything more specific to say than the 1 to 5 user poll. Also, make sure to hit me up with a like and a share. If you like what you're seeing, subscribe to my channel so you get notifications every time I post a new video. Till next time, folks, cheers.